Okay, team, remember class starts at 12:20. Always a little tricky. So we're just going through the agenda. So we have a warm up. We're going to finish up the intelligent systems and non-intelligent systems. We're going to work on our beautiful energy efficient custom kitchen competition, part 2, the slideshow. Okay. What is due is the intelligent systems and non-intelligent systems vocab. That was due today. Your beautiful energy efficient custom kitchen competition, part 1. Your 3 appliances to choose between as you're making your kitchen. That should already be done. If you haven't done that yet, get that done when we're working on the project. It's an easy way to get 30 points. These are big points. I want everyone passing. All you have to do for part 1 is go to Lowe's and just pick 3 products and, copy their description and their link in there. Try and give me what the Energy Star is. You'll only look at Energy Star products. That makes that part easy. Oh, my mask is upside down. And the exciting thing is I don't have anyone and I'm vaccinated. And in theory, I don't need to wear my mask. How that's going to work in school, I am not sure, but I'm guessing I am keeping my mask. All right. So for homework tonight, it is your beautiful energy efficient custom kitchen composition part 2. That's going to be due on the 18th. Okay. There's Chenier. Welcome, Chenier. We're just going over the agenda. So our slideshow is going to be due in a week on the 18th. Okay. So let's work on that today. And if we need in the next class, what our objective or goal for the day is to evaluate intelligent and non-intelligent systems, learn about appliances, how much power they require, and how to make a beautiful, environmentally friendly kitchen design with the choices you have selected. Okay? So let's get into our warm-up. And then I actually have a fun little thing for our Asian and Pacific Islander students. Let me, oh, there's Beverly. Welcome, Beverly. We're just going to the warm-up. Here we are. Look, I have it open already. How fabulous. Okay, so this is the FOT warm-up 514. Question 1. You can put your answers in the chat, sing out, or I have my fabulous spinner if nobody is feeling responsive. ITS stands for what? Esteban. ITS stands for what? Is it A, International Trade Service, B, Intelligent Transportation Systems, C, International Transportation Service, or Idle Temp Start? What do we think? Ooh, Brian's going with C, International Transportation Service. Oh, I've got another vote for C. What now? I'll tell you, there's a big hint in today's not mindfulness minute in our thing. What are we looking at? Intelligent systems and non-intelligent systems. What do you think ITS might be? Is it International Trade Service? Ah, Brian's jumping ship and my friend Stephen. So yes, it is B, Intelligent Transportation Systems. There should be an S on this. So that is what we're looking at. They like this, they like to use this acronym a lot. So I just want you to know ITS is Intelligent Transportation Systems. 2, an intelligent system requires what? I can elaborate on 1. Is it a computer program? B, a brain? C, an idea? Or D, an elephant? An intelligent system requires a computer program, a brain, an idea, or an elephant. Now, Brian's thinking it needs a brain. My other teacher liked elephant. Elephants are very smart. They're very intelligent. The answer is actually a program. And this is just something I told everyone last time. Don't worry if you didn't get it. What I mean by this is when we are talking about intelligent systems, right? These are smart, smart boards on the highway that are telling you how long it takes to get to 495 or how much traffic is ahead. They all need a computer program of some form or another to deliver what they do. In order for the messages to get up on those boards, you need a program. All right. So that's what I'm trying to say. The idea that intelligent systems are a computing innovation, not a computer innovation. The definition of a computing innovation is that it has a program in it, a computer program. It is not a new and better computer like a new laptop. It is software that has been written to do something. Okay, last question. Why was New Zealand the last Pacific island populated? Anybody remember? Was it A, that it was infested with rats, so no one wanted to go there? B, you couldn't land there, it was too dangerous? C, the winds were wrong and you had to sail upwind, which was difficult for early sailing technology? Or D, New Zealand was not a desirable island to inhabit? Okay, well, my friends Brian and Stephen are just ruling the day here, giving everyone's answers. Let's pick on someone else. Let's see. Juan Perez Jimenez. Juan, I think you're out there. Which answer do you think is the right one for number 3? Why New Zealand was the last Pacific island populated? Juan, you can put it in the chat or sing out. Juan, you out there? All right, let's try another. Jessica Mendez. Look, we lost Martin. Jessica Mendez, do you have any idea why New Zealand was the last Pacific island populated? Oh, there's one. He's thinking 4. New Zealand was just not a desirable island to inhabit. It's actually 3. Oh, there's Desi got it too. Brian got it. It's a weird issue. Let me show you. The issue is that as populations entered the Pacific and made their way across, they went straight out. Trying to get to New Zealand from Vanuatu probably would have been a lot easier. But instead, they went backwards. And the problem is, this is going against the wind. Okay, this is going against the trade winds. That's why it was the last island populated. It was very difficult to get to by early sailors. Shepsu. Shepsu, you were in class on time last time. Remember, class starts at 12:20. All right, we've been through our warm up and I have a fun little thing that we're gonna get to see, not my new kitchens. I've got one little piece of the Pacific Islander story that we didn't see, and I think this helps. Okay, so this is just for our Asian American Pacific Islander population to help you understand better how Pacific Islands were populated.
Which makes accomplishing your work goals easier.
Is everybody seeing this? I think so. Let me know if you're not.
Imagine setting sail from Hawaii in a canoe. Your target is a small island thousands of kilometers away in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That's a body of water that covers more than 160 million square kilometers, greater than all the land masses on Earth combined. For thousands of years, Polynesian navigators managed voyages like this without the help of modern navigational aids. Ancient Polynesians used the sun, moon, stars, planets, ocean currents, and clouds as guides that allowed them to see the ocean as a series of pathways rather than an obstacle. Their voyages began around 1500 BC, when the people who would settle Polynesia first set sail from Southeast Asia. Early Polynesians eventually settled a vast area of islands spread over 40 million square kilometers of the Pacific Ocean. Some historians believe the voyagers moved from place to place to avoid overpopulation, others that they were driven by war. Voyages became less frequent by around 1300 AD, as Polynesian societies became more rooted in specific locations. During the voyaging period, successful journeys depended on a number of factors: well-built canoes, the skill of navigators, and weather being some of the biggest. Voyages relied on sturdy va'akalua, or double-hulled canoes, which were powered by sails and steered with a single large oar. Canoe building involved the whole community, bringing together the navigators, canoe builders, priests, chanters, and hula dancers. Navigators were keen observers of the natural world. They were abundantly familiar with trade wind-generated ocean swells, which typically flow northeast or southeast. By day, navigators could identify direction by the rocking motion of their canoes caused by these swells. But sunrise and sunset were even more useful. The sun's position indicated east and west and created low light on the ocean that made it possible to see swells directly. At night, navigators used something called a star compass, which wasn't a physical object, but rather a sort of mental map. They memorized the rising and setting points of stars and constellations at different times of the year. They used those to divide the sky into 4 quadrants, subdivided into 32 houses, with the canoe in the middle. So, for example, when they saw the star Pira Atea rising from the ocean, they knew that to be northeast. They had some other tricks too. The Earth's axis points towards Hokupa'a, or the North Star, so called because it's the one fixed point in the sky as the Earth rotates, and always indicates north. However, it's not visible south of the equator, so navigators there could use a constellation called Neve, or the Southern Cross, and some mental tricks to estimate where south is. For instance, draw a line through these 2 stars, extend it 4.5 times, and draw another line from there to the horizon. That's south. But the sky also contains navigational aids much closer to Earth: the clouds. Besides being useful weather cues, under the right conditions, they can indicate land masses. For instance, the lagoons of Pacific atolls can actually be seen reflected on the underside of clouds, if you know what to look for. And high masses of clouds can indicate mountainous islands. Once navigators neared their destination, other clues such as the flight patterns of birds, floating debris or vegetation, and types of fish in the area helped determine the proximity of land. For example, the Manuoku had a known flight range of 190 kilometers and could be followed back to shore. So how do we know all of this? Partially through evidence in petroglyphs, written observations of European explorers, and Polynesian oral traditions, but also by trying them out for ourselves. In 2017, a voyaging canoe called Hokulea completed a worldwide voyage using only these techniques. If that seems remarkable, remember the ancient Polynesians, who through close study and kinship with nature were able to forge these paths across an unfathomably vast, vibrant, living ocean. The educator behind this lesson helped TED-Ed's student voice program find its way to Hawaii. Over 30 TED-Ed clubs have since formed in the Hawaiian Islands.
Okay. Let's get into our lecture. So again, I am just really impressed by Polynesian wayfinders and the culture and their ability to navigate through just observing the natural world around them. I don't think those navigators need their mindfulness moment. I think they are probably mindful all the time. All right, here we go. So we looked at intelligent systems last time. We'll be looking at the non-intelligent systems this time. Non-intelligent systems can be defined as any technological or natural system that does not utilize any computer or high-tech devices to create involuntary changes in what it does. Okay, so this is what I meant, excuse me, by intelligent systems needing a program. That typically they need a computer program, that a computer needs to be doing something in order to have an intelligent system. They are not natural, unassisted systems. So a non-intelligent system is an escalator. It just runs. It does not wait for you. It does not speed up or slow down. It just goes all day long. You hop on, you hop off. The escalator has no knowledge of you. So a mailbox, that's another. The flag is up. That means that the mail is ready to be picked up. If I had a weight sensor inside my mailbox that if there was mail in it, it would raise the flag to get it picked up, that would be a smart system, right? Because it would be measuring the input to change the output. Wind turbines waiting for wind. If there's no wind, there's nothing you can do to call the wind in. They just sit there. Okay? Esso, this is either from Canada or it's very old. That's what Exxon was back in the day when I was little. A thermometer, yes, it goes up and down based on the temperature around it, but it is just physical properties. It's that the alcohol in it expands or contracts based on the temperature. This is a water system. Water can flood. It can't be controlled. It's a non-intelligent system. Non-intelligent transportation systems, such as walkways and bicycle paths, attract individuals and groups of people through innovative designs that capitalize on natural settings and provide convenience. So an elevated walkway over a major highway. It's much easier to build a structure over a big highway than under it. So if you have populations that need to get across something like I-495, the only way to do it is with these overpasses. Okay? Note this is all sealed in so that you can't drop things on the cars going by. I hate to say, kids are known to drop things on cars from bridges. I know because I was a kid. Bank of China building in Hong Kong with elevated walkway. The elevated walkway is non-intelligent. I am guessing that building probably is intelligent. Here's walking on the Brooklyn Bridge. It's just a wooden path, right? There's nothing intelligent about that. ITS, Intelligent Transportation Systems, is made up of 16 types of technology-based systems. These systems are divided into intelligent infrastructure systems and intelligent vehicle systems. Okay? So intelligent infrastructure includes arterial management, traffic control signals, freeway management, ramp and lane control, transit management, public transportation, incident management, vehicle crashes, emergency management, fire and rescue, electronic payments, smart card use at toll stations. So let's see. Do we think that our traffic signals have a computer program that controls them? Yes, I do. Does freeway management, ramp and lane control, is that controlled by a computer? Probably. Transit management, public transportation, those are all scheduled on a computer. Incident management, vehicle crashes. When somebody calls 911, do you think it is going through a computer program? Why, yes, it is. Fire and rescue, it's all the same stories. There are computers involved in intelligent infrastructure. Traveler information, trip and en route information, information management, data archiving, crash prevention and safety. There are warning signs, road slippery when wet, roadway operations and maintenance, repair work, road weather management, message signs, violent thunderstorms. Those are those electronic signboards on I-66. Commercial vehicle operations, truck weigh stations, intermodal freight, freight tracking. All right, intelligent vehicles include collision avoidance systems, vehicle sensors, driver assistance, GPS, and collision notification, OnStar communication. Intelligent transportation systems vary in technologies applied, from basic management systems such as car navigation, traffic light control systems, container management systems, variable message signs, or speed cameras to monitor applications such as security closed circuit TV systems. So when you see the word CCTV, that means closed circuit TV system. There are more advanced applications which integrate live data and feedback from a number of other sources, such as parking guidance and information systems. Some cars now can auto park. Weather information. Those are things like we get around here a lot of, violent thunderstorm warnings because they might spawn hurricanes. Not hurricanes, tornadoes. Bridge de-icing systems. Bridges freeze before the roadway. This is because the earth acts like an insulator under the road. When you have it on a bridge, there is nothing to insulate that bridge, and they get much colder than the roads surrounding them. Okay, so these are smart parking systems, right? All the green are empty spots. All the red, the places have been taken. Looks like Montgomery Mall, if you ask me. So there's a weather forecast, current data, road weather, and road systems. So this is the idea. Across the country, towns and cities of all sizes are applying to transportation advances in communication and computer technology to improve safety, efficiency, dependability, and cost effectiveness. This is the idea that everyone is talking to each other here. Cars are talking, lights are talking, people are talking. So here is an intelligent transportation system. We have smart sensors on drones. We have smart sensors on electrical towers, motion detection information, brightness from lights, sensed information of smartphone, a sync node. We don't know what that is. Multimedia formation and videos, sensed information of the wearable device, health information location, sensed information on the wearable device. Okay. Just to summarize, ITS stands for Intelligent Transportation Systems. It's plural, which are systems that utilize electronics communications and information processing, typically a computer program, to improve the efficiency and safety of surface transportation. ITS makes systems safer, more efficient, more reliable, and more environmentally friendly without necessarily having to physically alter existing infrastructure. ITS improves transportation safety and mobility and enhances productivity through the use of advanced communications technologies, Non-intelligent transportation systems are walkways and bicycle paths. ITS is made up of 16 types of technology-based systems. These systems are divided into intelligent infrastructure systems and intelligent vehicle systems. We're done. Okay. So let's take a look in our module. All right, we've done our vocab. We are looking at our final slide presentation, right? So right now you have about 40 minutes, or no, 30 minutes to work on your final slide presentation, part 2. If you haven't done part 1, that is fairly easy. Please do it. Get the 30 points. Okay, all you need are 3 appliances for each one. You just need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or any place. You can just search the internet, put those links in, tell me what the power usage is. You'll get a great grade. I have 9th through 12th graders. I know that the level of projects is going to change. What I am looking for is effort, is understanding the assignment and trying to deliver your best, all right? Let me show a project that I have. I got another one. All right, let me stop sharing and start sharing. So here, this is just a simple, a relatively simple version that is a great job. Okay, so actually, Camilla, do you want to present this? Camilla, would you like to present your project? I think it's great. We're not hearing from Camilla. Nobody seems to like to present their projects, but I get a thrill. Okay, so Camilla Kitchens. It's got her name and the period. That's fabulous. Here's our refrigerator, nice side by side and stainless. So side by side, stainless, it is Energy Star, 616 kilowatt hours. This is per year. She does have that down here. She just missed it up here. So she gives a nice little blurb. The reason I chose this fridge is because it has the least price range as well as low kilowatt hours. It also has stainless steel and is side by side, which she liked. So on the stove, I chose the stove or oven because it is the least wattage, so it saves more energy. I also picked it because it was the cheapest, most affordable that I could find. So her project has a real theme to it. She wanted to find the best, most energy efficient products at the lowest possible price. That she felt for her presentation, she wanted to show that you could have a beautiful energy efficient kitchen without it being that expensive. Okay, just so you know, this is something she could have added here. This is a convection stovetop. This is the most energy efficient thing. It's a glass stovetop. In theory, it's actually magnetism that they use to generate heat in the pan itself. The burner is not getting hot. It's a very strange system, but it is the most energy efficient. See, we've got the years, and now this is strange. It says and 48 dBA. That's decibels. That is usually a measure for your dishwasher. Stoves don't make noise. Dishwashers do make noise. So I'm betting this 48 dBA should be down here. That is very quiet for a dishwasher. Things like your vent, they're saying that your vent should be quiet. So each one, the only thing I feel is missing here is the idea of a link to the actual product in the Home Depot site or Lowe's so I could see more of the specs. I would just link that to the name. Like I might make this electric dryer active by putting the link in that name. So if I wanted to see where this came from, I could. The only issues here, vaguely that, see, this has like a clear top. I am betting they have a version with a clear door here. But these are similar. I might have got these in stainless too to match my other ones, but your washing machines are usually in a separate room. So having them be white and light and nice seems good. And here she did a hand-drawn layout. I'd love to see it a little more robust, maybe with some counters in between, but this is a great effort. The idea that the microwave goes on top and she couldn't show that, so she made a little arrow. This is all great effort. I love the font. I think it looks cool. Total cost of my kitchen is $4,391. That is pretty amazing. I believe that my kitchen is best since I have a low energy usage. I also found affordable and good quality items for my kitchen. I honestly enjoy designing my own kitchen, although it is a little tough to find the right prices, the right quality, and the energy readings. A lot of times they don't give them to you unless you pick an Energy Star appliance. So I just click on those to begin with. It's okay if you can't find the ratings. These appliances can last a good amount of years as well, so you don't have to worry. I love that she has a real theme and a drive to get that low-cost kitchen with great stuff. And I think these look like wonderful appliances. They don't look cheap or shoddy. They look beautiful. Okay? So that's a great job. So that's what we're trying to do. The other thing, if you haven't done it yet, so if you haven't done part 1, you can just scroll down here. Oh, look, there's beautiful energy efficient kitchen, part 1. Okay, so this is your worksheet for this one. Right, you're creating the competition. I just want to see, ideally the cost, the energy consumption, and something about the specs. Maybe it's just a link, because this is just a resource so you have looked at some things and found what you want to use in your kitchen. Maybe when you put your kitchen together, what you found doesn't look great. At least you have some alternatives. Like Camilla said, building a kitchen is fun, but it is not necessarily easy. I know from doing mine, there's a lot of things to think about. So just experiencing this once is going to make you a much better shopper when it comes time to build your kitchen. All right, I will be quiet until 20 past. All right, so we've got about 20 minutes to work on this. Let me know if you want me to be trying to build slides with you or helping you learn how to make slides.
Yeah, can you help me with that?
Sure. Okay. So first thing, The easiest way to get a slideshow is like to go into our slideshow and just say new presentation. Okay, it's going to give you a blank slide. All right. If I can't do that, you can always just Google Slides. If I go Google Slides, it's going to drop me into Google Slides. We're not doing it for business, even though it seems like it. So I need a new presentation. I'm just going to click here. Same thing. I'm just going to get one blank slide. All right. For this project, we need probably 10 slides. You just use this little plus symbol over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So you've gotten 11. But that's great. I'm fine with that. All right. So for my first slide, what am I going to do? I need a company name. Who am I? I'm going with Swiftest Kitchen Design. What font do I want? Lobster? Comic Sans? That's not terrible. Caveat? No, I don't like that. Impact? I kind of like that. All right, so I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to left justify. I hit these 3 buttons. Align. Still want to make mine a little bigger.
Wait, how many slides do we need?
In theory, 10. Look at your sheet. Here's your sheet, right? For part 2. I'm working on slide 1, my intro slide. It needs my student name and class period, and it needs a business title and a business logo.
Do we have that? Like, can I get that?
Yes, this is your assignment. It's in the module. Here, I'll show you. Hang on, not that one. So here, this is part 1. When you look in your module, part 2, final slide presentation, energy efficient competition 2. So just click on that. Come on. And then here's your worksheet.
Okay, which week?
Okay, you probably need to make a copy of it so that you can fill it in. But this is just, it actually doesn't matter. You don't need to make a copy of this because you're not filling it in. This is just a guide to what you're supposed to do. So your first slide is your title slide, okay? So I think I've gotten that far. No, not my mindfulness minute. Here we are. Okay, so I have Swift and I'm going to, perfect. I'm going to say energy efficient.
Okay, I see part 2. That's what I'm looking for, right? Part 2, right?
For the last 2 weeks, it's all part 2.
All right.
Hang
What
on.
period is this? Period 7? It's period 7, right?
It doesn't matter what period, the assignments are the same. We're period 8.
We are?
Yep. And period 9 is next, innovation. Hang on, I'm going to center mine. All right. Make that different. That didn't work very well. All right, so that's my first one. Now, if I was good, I hate to say I erased everything in my first document because I didn't make a copy of it. So I'm going to do quick and dirty. I want a refrigerator freezer. I agree. I like side-by-sides. Yeah, I'm going to go with the plain side-by-side. Let's see if these have Energy Star. There. See, if I click down here on the Energy Star, I only get Energy Star ones. So those are nice because I can get figures off them. Why everything is all grayed out. There, fine. My internet is not great. Ooh, there we go. I like the KitchenAid, and this is a 36-inch. It's a beast. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that. Look, here's one. Why, I think this looks familiar. Okay, so here's yours. So let me use yours. You'd be amazed what I find lurking in my toolbar. Okay, so for my fridge, nice. Okay, so what's the one I'm looking for? I'm looking for the Frigidaire 2.5, 25.5. Right. Samsung. There's Frigidaire, that's the one. Oh, look, that's a good price too. Frigidaire's a great product. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to right click on this thing and see. No. The problem is,
Come in. Come in.
so I'm trying to figure out how to get a picture of my fridge. There we go. I'll save image as, or actually I bet, watch this. I bet I can do this. Copy image. Go back to our slide. That's not my slide. This is my slide. This is a text box. I'm going to see if, oh, look, there we go. Okay. So I just copied and pasted my fridge in here. All right. I'm going to get rid of these text boxes. You got to click on a corner and then hit delete. Click on the corner, hit delete.
Did you copy and paste that? Like that refrigerator?
Yeah. So here I am on Home Depot. I went, it was easier from the big thing. Once you're in the little one, it's letting you magnify, which is causing trouble.
Wait, what big thing?
Here, I'll show you. Well, I found it easier to copy it from here.
Oh, okay.
This is not the ones I want. That's a $10,000 refrigerator. Good Lord. I think ours is up top. Not LG. Nice. Okay, here's the Frigidaire. So what I was saying was that if I right clicked on this, hit copy image, I could go back to my slide and then
For some reason, it's not letting me.
Command V, I can paste it. Well, so you either want to do that or you could take an image grab of it, whatever you like. I think I don't need this one. What I need now is a text box, and I need to tell you about this. All right. So what is this? This is now we're in trouble.
How would you find the efficiency star rating?
How do I find which?
Efficiency star rating.
Oh, okay, here. So ideally, as I scroll down here, I'm hoping these are all Energy Star. It should tell me specs, no details. Energy efficiency tier rating. No. I think I might have gotten off my right product.
Even those like those 4 stars at the top where it says slide by slide refrigerators and stainless steel. Those like 4 stars right there.
Okay. Well, you're not looking for stars. You want that Energy Star. Energy Star is different. So what I need to do, somehow I got bounced out of where I was, which is always an issue. What I want to do is come down here. Well, that's weird. It's not offering me, I'm pretty sure, because I've got this clicked. See all. Now I want to come down here, and Energy Star should be an option. Come on. Lord. This is so weird. It was in here. You saw me click it.
You can't find it.
This is the joy of our business. Hang on. So let's just look up refrigerator. Let's go back to the beginning. When in doubt, refrigerator. I decided now it's not even giving me the option for side by side. There. All right. Now, come on. There should be a little click box.
I'm not even worried about
Hang on. That's the right one. Oh, I swear that is an Energy Star.
Wait, Mr. William.
Yep.
So like after you put the image of the refrigerator, like what do you put on the side? Like what do you explain?
Well, that's what I'm trying. Well, for one, we want our Energy Star rating. And two, I was just going to put a little info. You know, that's what I was looking for on my blurb. You know, something nice about my. That's so weird. Why aren't these showing Energy Star? LG, Samsung, KitchenAid. I think that's the one. Yes. I'm pretty sure this one was Energy Star. Energy Guide. This is where it is. Phew. All right. So 709 kilowatt hours per year, $85. Not bad. All right, so I'm going to go back to my slide.
Wait, can you show it again?
Is that the star efficiency?
This is this fridge. This is the Frigidaire Gallery 25.6, I believe.
No, it's
I was talking about that screen you saw earlier.
Right. But what I'm saying is that I picked these all to be Energy Star, and this was the one that I picked first. So if you pick an Energy Star product, ideally you scroll down and you're going to get to here, info and guides, product overview, the Energy Guide. This is an active link and it goes to your Energy Star sticker. So all this is going to show me is the Energy Star sticker, and the Energy Star stickers are great because they show you all the stuff, right? If it would ever load.
Is that part there when you click on the actual product itself?
Yes.
Okay.
So where I'm saying to look is right here in the review of my product.
Oh, okay.
But it's got Energy Guide. And the reason it has energy guide is I picked that, but it just seems to be really hard to find. I don't know why. My internet is not great. But anyway, what I wanted was, I want to find a couple little things to say about it. I don't care about the depth. Eh. Let's just get. I'm just going to take this first paragraph and stick it in.
Mister, I don't know if like you know, but like uh that refrigerator, you got it from my link, right?
Yeah.
All right, so if it's cool if I put that stuff, or do I
So
put
hang on, I'm trying. Why can't I move this thing?
gotta click on the box, one of the blue lines.
Yeah, I can. Oh, I know. Is it that one? Oh, now I've done it. And flipped it upside down. I'll just drag the stupid thing. All right. So I'm not being a great example of brilliance here. But this is the idea. So you need to say what it is. This has a link so that I could actually go and look at the product. You know, here's a little blurb about it that I found. Let this let me do anything. And then I could make another text box and say, energy rating.
I would never even see that without it.
Of course, it's not telling me the energy rating. There it is, 709 kilowatt hours, $85.
I have a question.
Mhm.
How would I determine the appliance's style?
Hang on, KWH. Let's make that a little bigger. Hold. Okay, so what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the style of
Okay.
the appliance. I'm not sure how to really determine the style.
What do you mean by the style? That it's stainless steel?
I guess.
The
Whatever you
side-by-side refrigerator in stainless steel. Smudge-proof stainless steel, resists fingerprints. You know, this is another place to look for some details to put on your.
So basically, the style would be like the type. Like
I don't, where, oh, I know, yeah. So when you're looking at our sheet
Mm-hmm.
and it's saying style, all that, this is a two-door, all right? In terms of a refrigerator, you've got a bunch of different styles of refrigerator, right?
Uh-huh.
You've got side by side, you've got over under, you've got, hang on. If I just go to refrigerator, by the way, everybody, we are done with class, but we need to do innovation period, so hang out for 10 minutes. So ideally, when we come here, see refrigerators by style, all right? So this is a French door over and under. This is a side by side. That is a top freezer. This is a bottom freezer. Those are all styles of refrigerator.
Okay. Thank
You
you.
know, I agree with you that like another piece of style, like when you're styling your kitchen, is the idea that they all match. You know, that this is a stainless steel refrigerator, not a white refrigerator. That can also be interpreted as style. Style always has to do with how it looks. But so, like I said, you know, think about how easy this is and your skill level. This is all Camilla's saying. If she's got a picture of her fridge, she tells you the size, the style is that it's a side-by-side refrigerator, that it has Energy Star and the rating and the price. And then she just gives a couple ideas of why she liked it. If I look at, you know, this one, it just has where it came from, the dollars and the wattage, and then a little explanation. Let me see if I can find another one. What are those three? The internet is very slow. Here, let me share this one. Why is that? Five minutes till innovation. Okay, so here's another project. Jaffe Kitchens, energy efficient kitchen proposal. Fabulous, my name. So here's the Bloomberg refrigerator. Couple features available. It's got a hot link so that you can look at it. Got the price, got the Energy Star. Same thing, G electric range. Couple of the features. It's compact, advanced tech with powerful heating, bold black and stainless steel contrast. Energy use is 210. Not quite sure how it gets 208 volts, but here it is at Best Buy. See, this is the hot link. It gets you that link in there without taking up all the space. Does this have an Energy Star? My computer is pretty unhappy. You can also look at the frequently bought together to get an idea of how people are pairing things. Like here's a hood for this. Doesn't seem to be Energy Star. All right, we're going to give up on this for the moment, but we can come back to it later. See, she couldn't find an Energy Star, so she just gave what the power consumption of it was. Actually, it's not even the consumption, that's just what the power that it takes. All righty. Let me find. No. I swear one of these is going to be our innovation period. There. Today is the 14th. All right, today's 14th. Here we go, info flow. There we are.
Good afternoon, Blazers, and welcome back to InfoFlow from Home. Today is Friday, May 14th. I'm Nolan.
And I'm Sky. In local news, Montgomery County has surpassed 70,257 cases of COVID-19 as of Tuesday, May 11th. According to the Maryland Department of Health, just over 42% of county residents have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, while 56.2% have received at least one dose.
Next week will be a mental health awareness week. Join the counseling department and the SGA Wellness Committee in helping to bring awareness to the mental health of those around you and to participate in days like Mindful Monday, Tunes Tuesday, and Wear Green Friday. On Tuesday, there will also be a carnival social at lunch. Join us with the meeting ID and password below. For more information, follow the counseling department on Instagram at MDHS Counseling or on Twitter at MDHS Counseling.
Our neighbors in DC are about to reopen. By May 21st, most capacity and activity restrictions will be lifted in all public venues. DC Mayor Muriel Bowser says this decision has been made informed by the current plummet in COVID cases. With this approval for opening, we take one more step towards returning to normal.
In global news, Israeli-Palestinian tensions have seen a sharp uptick in recent days. On Monday night, airstrikes from Israel have left 26 Palestinians dead, 10 of which are believed to be civilians. Palestinian forces have also fired hundreds of rockets towards Israel, killing 2 civilians and wounding 10. In addition to the strikes, there have been violent clashes between Palestinians and Israeli security forces throughout Jerusalem. Hundreds of Arab residents in Israel have staged overnight demonstrations in response to the violence of Israeli security forces. We will keep you updated as this rapidly evolving situation develops.
And now let's take a look at another episode of Ice Blazers.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Leslie Stahl.
It's a good question.
Does it have to be a president?
If I had someone to put on Mount Rushmore, it would be
One of the indigenous leaders that the Mount Rushmore land is on. I feel like if you're going to take land from an indigenous community, you should at least honor them in some way.
If it had to be a U.S. president, maybe Barack Obama.
and I'm improvising here. The Monopoly guy? Yes. I would add the Monopoly guy because I just want a monument where I can see his mustache face.
Would have to say Rowan Atkinson because I love Mr. Bean.
Stanley Tucci. I loved his movies. So good. So good.
Huge thanks to all of our participants.
The Junior Class Council will be hosting a fundraiser at Chipotle on Saturday, May 15th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. All Blair students, especially juniors, are encouraged to go buy some food and show the poster all at the cash register. Online orders during that time frame can also support the fundraiser if they include our code. To check out the code and other information, please go to @JuniorBlazers on Instagram. All proceeds will be used for planning events for the class of 2020 senior year.
Join us Wednesday, May 19th for an informational meeting for Blair's New Without Borders Sin Fronteras student group. All are welcome. Email Ms. Young with any questions at the email below.
SGA and Class Council winners. Congratulations to Salma Chicas for her win as SGA president and Allison Neal Freeman for vice president. Our senior class elects are Moeller Toronta and Omar Sacker. Our junior class elects are Shelly Mien and Barco Jebre. Sorry for mispronouncing. And finally, our sophomore class elects are Lila Bereje and Haset Windham.
That's all for today's show. Check out our website at bnconline.net, submit any announcements, and follow us on Instagram at BNC_Blair and on Twitter at BNCBlair. We'll be back on Tuesday with the latest edition of InfoFlow from home. Remember to wash your hands, avoid touching your face, and follow all social distancing guidelines. Have a fantastic Friday and stay safe, Blazers.
Barcoat and Layla are my students. I am very excited about that. Congratulations. Okay. So that was a good info flow. All right, let's participate in our mindfulness minute. I like this one. It's certainly better than the next one. I looked at next week's. It's a little weird. All right, so our mindfulness minute right now. Look around your room for a full minute. It's something you've never noticed before. This sort of goes to what we were talking about when we were, well, here, I'll take off my virtual background. Okay, so when we were doing the trace your hand thing, I was saying, look at the back of your hand. Find something on there you've never seen before. People always say, oh, I know it like the back of my hand. Most of us really have no idea what is on the back of our hand. So let's take a minute. I've got my fabulous phone. No, apparently my phone is dead. I have a watch. I'm going to give us a full minute. I want you to look around your room and find something you never noticed before. I'm in my classroom, which I haven't been in much, so I'm sure I can find something. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your minute now. I want to hear what you found. "15 seconds. Oh, I don't know why. It's freezing cold in here today. They turned on the AC. And time is up. Okay, team. What did you find? Put in the chat something that you found that you didn't know was in your room. I'll start out. Okay, so I'm saying I found a Boston pencil sharpener. Oh, it's not on the way, on the wall. Cursed spell check. Exactly like the one I had at home when I was your age. So it's funny, I can't see it from here because there's a column in front of me. But, well, this isn't gonna work. Hi. If you look over there, there is a Boston pencil sharpener on the wall. And that is just like the one we used to have at home. And I can remember sharpening my pencils on it. Anybody else? Anybody find something that they weren't aware of in their room? Okay. Anyone? All right, let's see. Elevating learning in student voices. So as you listen, reflect upon whether you have a trusted adult at school and what they do that has helped to support you. What can we as a school community do to help address the concerns raised? It has to be in present. This is the same thing. We watched this last time. I really don't understand how we watched this last time when this is supposed to be for the 14th. Anybody want to watch that again? But we had our elections too. It's just for fun. I'd swear this is the same thing. Oh, there we are. This is starting at like 36 minutes in. And
so I think what we're really coming down to in the message is that it is about seeing you all individually. recognizing the effort, recognizing who you are, what's important to you, not making assumptions or having stereotypes. And so, so we're going to go a little bit deeper into what does this all mean in school in just a few moments. But as I said earlier, I was a student at MCPS, and so a lot of the things that you're sharing are familiar to me in many ways. I have the added element is that religion was an issue for me as well when I, in growing up and being a student at MCPS. So I actually was going to be sharing something with you as well. And then we are going to move into our next question.
Sorry, before we do that, I think we had a pretty good question in the Q&A box that I might want our panelists to respond to. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, please.
Is it okay if I answer?
Sorry?
Is it okay if I answer?
Yeah, sure. I'll just read the question first for people who might not have seen it. But we have someone in the Q&A box who's asking, have you ever had instances in which you feel you have to distance yourself from your ethnic heritage in order to prove you are just an average American?
Yes, I have. And like, I used to live in a very conservative place. And I just I kind of like laughed off the racism when they were being racist to me. Like, I just like laughed it off and then just made fun of it together. Cause like, I thought in order to survive, or to be happy here, I thought I had to be like them, be like the other kids who are like racist. And I'm kind of disappointed at myself. I'm really disappointed. Actually, I'm really disappointed at myself for this, because it was just my ignorance for not knowing how some people are actually like suffering. Like, I didn't know I didn't really like know any of the hate crimes that are going on. I was like really uneducated, and I think getting along is not the best. It's not really it's a bad answer to a bad response to the racism. Like, you have to educate people and tell them about the hate crimes and how the Asian Americans are suffering from white supremacy. And yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. How about that answer? That is pretty powerful. I found a God toy behind my TV. Very cool. What that student is saying is that he lived in a place where his peer group were very derogatory, that they picked on people, they picked on him for race, and the way that he wanted to survive. He didn't want to make waves. He didn't want to get picked on. So he just started mirroring the way the other people in his community were acting. And what he's saying is he started picking on other people because that was what all the people he was around were doing. And then he kind of realized that what he was doing was hurting other people's feelings. And it really made him feel bad because he was just trying to fit in. He was just trying to be one of the gang and be like the other people in the area where he lived. But he found that what they were doing was so disrespectful to the people that they were saying derogatory comments to that he felt that he had hurt his own soul. I mean, that's the message I got, that he felt that he had not been true to himself in following these other people's example. You always want to be true to yourself. You want to feel that you have integrity, that you do what's right, because that's how we feel good about ourselves. That's how we sleep at night. Let's hear the next one.
So, to answer Paul's question, I have, when I was younger, to try and distance myself from my heritage to seem more American. So just like if there was some cultural event coming up, or I was asked what I ate for lunch or something, and it was something Indonesian, I tried to say something basic, like a goji sandwich, or like it was a party, to make it seem like I was just a normal kid who's in America.
Yeah, I can definitely second what Noah said. When I was younger, my grandma used to make me sago, which is not like bubble tea, but it's different in Filipino culture. And when I was younger, I brought it to school one time, and kids said, "That's disgusting. What are you eating?" So I just stopped bringing it. But I guess with people starting to drink bubble tea and all these new chains popping up, I brought it again when I was a freshman in high school. And all of a sudden, people said, "That's so cool." But for the longest time, it was just something that you couldn't bring, or even like barongs, which is something that Filipino males wear. It was, and my mom would encourage like my brother to wear it to school, and my grandma would want my brother to wear it to school, and he wouldn't because he would just be teased for wearing these things. And my brother just wanted to wear like a Michael Jordan t-shirt or something instead.
Yeah, for me, I have two prevalent examples of that. First of all, my first language was Vietnamese. And then I turned 5 and my parents were like, okay, you need to start speaking English. You can't speak Vietnamese anymore because you'll be made fun of in school. You'll be put in ESOL. So now I don't know any Vietnamese, and that really sucks because I feel so disconnected from my culture. And second of all, my first name is Ngọc Hung, which is in Vietnamese. But whenever people hear that, they make fun of my name. They mess it up on purpose. And then they always ask me, "What's your real name?" And I'm like, "It's Ilani." And they're like, "No, your real name." And so I'm changing it next year so that people can't make fun of me anymore. And that really sucks, but.
Yeah, same here. There's been a lot of times where people just give me like nicknames or something, and I've never really felt comfortable with that.
Personally, I had to change my last name. My last name had an Enye symbol in the Filipino language. It's we have a different alphabet with like 2 extra letters, and my name had that one extra letter. So people just had such a hard time pronouncing it. I just had to change it. People also making fun of me, making nicknames out of it, and it just sucks. I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna change it to something more American with American vowels and everything. And yeah, also to address the question, I have been made fun of for my food. I brought adobo to school once. It's a Filipino dish, and people were like, "That smells disgusting. I don't know what's wrong." And then I tell them what's wrong with it, and they're like, "It's just disgusting. It's so Asian." And I just looked at them and like, I just realized something at that moment, that I just can't really be myself at school because everyone's just gonna make fun of it, and I shouldn't even try to be Asian because people will make fun of it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been time.
Let me just add here. These stories are very similar to a wonderful TED Talk that I saw about microaggressions. As an older white man, I am not as familiar with microaggressions. And again, I never had to suffer from them too much. I was picked on, I was bullied. I've survived getting robbed by 3 boys, when I was 12 and they were 14, who took my candy. But these are kids who every day are feeling that their ethnicity, that who they are, is being made fun of. And that just can't be fun. And I think a big part of it is adolescence and kids who don't know any better, etc. That kids pick on anyone. It's not just that you're Asian. They're going to pick on you anyway. Being Asian maybe makes it easier to think up some things, but kids can be very cruel. They don't know how much pain they cause because they think it's a game. Or like the first student, this is what my other friends do. I thought this was okay. Just remember, we're all people. We all care. We all want to be liked. You want to be accepted as you, not somebody else or not some image I have to present to keep me from crying at school because people hurt my feelings so much. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It really upsets me when someone is hurting a student of mine. I don't know why. It really, really bothers me to hear about students going day in and day out, hearing slurs, having to change their behavior. It just upsets me that people are not more welcoming, more excited. I mean, again, Asian food, there was nothing I liked more as like a little kid. Again, we had the Japan Inn, I think, up on the corner. So I was introduced early. But I just don't understand. You know, it goes back to I was in LA during the riots. These were from Rodney King beating. This was someone, again, who was beaten by the police on camera. And when the police were let off, there was a major 3-day riot in LA. Why can't we all just get along? After the riots, they had Rodney King on camera. This is someone who had been beaten by 10 police officers in just an ugly situation. He could say, why can't we all just get along? Why do you take my name and punish someone? Okay? I think that's enough of this for now. Let's see what else we have on our schedule. Got some interesting things I wanted to show. ADL No Place for Hate Day reflection. Share your experience on being an ally. Okay, apparently today is No Place for Hate Day. Be creative. Post a photo or a brief video under a minute with a caption or a text post that answers the following question. This past year, how are you an ally in your school or community? If you choose to use a personal or social media accounts, include hashtag No Place for Hate in your caption. For Instagram stories, there is a No Place for Hate sticker. Search NPFH. Tag ADL's national social media accounts by including these handles. For Facebook, @Anti-Defamation League. Instagram, @ADL_national. Twitter, @ADL. So how are you an ally in your school community? You guys can use this tag. You can click on this link. See where it takes us. Ooh, it's a collaboration board. All right, stop the hate. Combat India's COVID-19 crisis, how to help. I can tell you the way that I try and be an ally is to express to my students that I will not try and criticize you, that I will try and not make you feel bad about not getting an assignment in, that I am here to help you. That's all I am here for. That I want to make you a better student. I want to open your mind to exciting, interesting thoughts and how to pursue them. But I never want to put you down. I never want to make you feel bad. I want to empower you to do better. So that's how I try and be an ally in my school community, to help my students and let them know that I am here for them, particularly if you've got something weird going on in your life. I think one of the big questions was, do you have an adult that you can talk to? If you don't, I'm here for you. I'm always available to talk to you about anything, particularly about life, the film industry, my experiences. I don't get to talk about that much. And I've got a lot of experience. I've done many, many jobs in many cool places. So I'm more than willing to share with you what you need to share with me. So just know that I'm here for you, all right? We still have a half hour. All right. So for additional support, if you or a friend are experiencing distress, tell a trusted adult at school, your teacher, me, an administrator, a counselor, a psychologist, the janitor, anyone that you're a friend with that you feel comfortable. If you're having trouble, let them know. Nobody can help you unless you let people know. All right, so at home, do you have a partner? Is there a family member you can talk to? Do you feel that your mom always listens to you and always loves you? It can be hard at home. You don't want to get punished. You don't want to say something wrong. So Montgomery County Crisis Help Hotline is text hello to 741-741 or call or text 301-738-2255. If you're feeling threatened, if you're feeling in danger, maybe you're feeling depressed and like it's not all worth it. Those are what crisis centers are for. Here's the crisis center in every mine. There are also suicide prevention hotlines. There's a song about it. So this is Mental Health Month. I'm going to go to my old job and see if we can find something fun in here. So PBS NewsHour, Student Reporting Labs. I was the head of the STEM and Health Student Reporting Lab. So my students did do mental health stories, not in the first year. I will explain. Most students want to do a story about teen suicide. The teen suicide is very, very upsetting and just tears a community apart. And everyone who is a friend wants to know how they failed their friend. Why didn't you hear the signals? And schools will not talk about it because they are really worried about copycats. And that seems to be very prevalent, that when one student commits suicide, others follow because they see the example. Let's look, let me see if I can find a story or two about this. These are stories written and produced by students, okay? Oh, don't. I want, what school was it? Michigan? How students fight Zoom fatigue. Oh, I've worked at Legacy. Let's see what they have to say. So this is how to help classmates facing depression. This is from Legacy Early College High School in Greenville, South Carolina.
Mental health to me is a state of mind in which we are able to endure everyday activities. It can be good mental health in which we are happy with our lives and are able to complete everything without a problem, or it can be bad mental health in which we are depressed and sad.
A healthy mind is basically you go through things, but you know how to overcome them, not necessarily making or letting those things bring you down.
A healthy mind to me looks like your normal self, just doing your everyday things, you're eating right, just thinking about school and stuff. One main factor that plays in mental health in teens would be the people that they have around them. And basically, I feel like some teens don't choose wisely who they have in their circle. and maybe it's not even people they have in their circle. It's just bullies.
The main factors, in my opinion, that affect the mental health of teenagers is school and the thought about future. Because while we're in school in such a crucial time of growing up, we are more emotional, and we also are put in the state where we have to think about our future and are pressured to do so. So it majorly affects our mental health if we have no goal or if we think that is impossible to reach.
Some of the main factors that play a part in mental health for teens is school and just like learning yourself and knowing, like getting to know yourself. I think the media portrays depression and like mental health in like a really negative way, as if it's like in a disease, but it really isn't. It's just who they are.
The media portrays mental health as being something that shouldn't be talked about when it should be a very common topic because it is growing, like depression and mental health is growing in teens our age in this generation.
I think the media makes things both better and worse. It makes it better because some people can get awareness and some people may want to come out, and they make it worse because some people may also still be insecure about mental health.
I think suicide and depression are a leading cause in death in teens because there is no one there to listen to them, what they're going through with their mental health issues. Again, social media is a huge factor in that, but we also need people that understand what these kids are going through to help them get through depression so it doesn't lead to suicide.
The signs of mental health is when you like exclude yourself from the group or like you're not there.
Just seeing them sluggish or down and not doing the normal routine that they usually do.
Some signs and symptoms that you may see when a friend has mental health is they're not as outgoing as they used to be. They're quiet. They don't talk to you as much. They're closed in. The best steps to take when you notice the signs are to ensure your friend that you're there and that you're there at any time that they need to talk.
Keep your head up. Keep pushing focus on life goals.
Release all your sadness. Cry it out.
Make sure they're okay. Ask questions if they don't answer. Give them space. You also ask if they want space before you leave them.
It's okay to talk to people and that some people will not judge whatever issues you are going through.
All right, so there are some interesting voices. They're just kids trying to grapple with mental health. It's not easy. Nobody wants to be seen as having a mental health problem. Something I wanted to try and find here, it was a program that are peer counselors, that what seems to really work for teens who are depressed or suicidal or whatever is having a peer to talk to. Not having a teacher, but having someone like you to say, man, I am just depressed, I can't take it. And that hearing that and hearing the other stories helps you. Mental health with public speaking, how video games affect mental health. I could only remember which school this was from. How about Texas teens want more from their sex ed? Okay, here's an interesting one. This is called, Why Do We Turn to Humor in Times of Crisis? And this sort of goes along with some of those comments from our Asian American and Pacific Islander students. The idea, the one kid said, I tried to laugh it off, that the kids were saying abusive things to me and I just laugh it off. Humor helps you, but it is also a very human reaction that when we are incredibly stressed or unhappy, that we try humor to lighten it up, to make it seem that we're not that upset by whatever we're doing. Okay, this was also one of my schools. This is Etowanda in Rancho Cucamonga.
Along with the news of US-Iran conflict, hashtag WW3 began trending on popular social media apps. And it's not just about World War III. There are jokes surrounding climate change, political candidates, the coronavirus, and more. From the surface, it seems that teens are simply not taking matters seriously. But what if it's more than that? To find out more, we turn to students for their thoughts on this issue.
It's helped me kind of take my mind off of everything that's happening in my life.
People like to take things that are serious and laugh at it because, I mean, it makes coping easier.
There are important issues, but the main purpose of memes is it's just a satire, you know? It's something that we can alleviate the pain from.
Marriage and family therapist Kathy Hayes says that like the many generations before them, the younger generation today faces a tremendous amount of stress as they transition to adulthood and face uncertain futures. So many turn to social media and memes to alleviate their anxiety.
So a lot of fears and anxiety that are happening for adolescents and teenagers. There's such a high need for having that perfect GPA to get into colleges, but I think also just going into adulthood and what is that going to look like for them? Those kinds of things are really bringing more anxiety in teens than I think we saw even 20 years ago. First and foremost, definitely humor is an incredible, very researched coping mechanism that can be used for anxiety and depression.
I think climate change is probably the one that I probably think about the most, about being something that'll drastically change how I live in the future. So like water levels that rise and stuff, that could be pretty scary to think about, like cities going underwater and stuff.
When we're in our downtime, sometimes that's when we need that time to have that humor and to play and to not take life so seriously all the time in order to be able to have that balance within our own mental health issues. In adolescence, we see them joking around a lot, using memes, making light of things, making videos to kind of have satire about different political views or even incidents in our world that are happening today.
Satire about serious issues has always been around, but what's new is the ease with which people can connect and communicate across time and space to get their views out there. Gen Z is native to communicating this way, and when the older generations express their concerns about the way the younger generation jokes around on the internet, they simply say, "Okay, boomer."
Although older people, they were brought up different from us and they have different mindset. When younger generations come up with responses to their racism or their homophobia or anything like that, our response was just to turn to jokes and make something as serious to that as into a joke like "Okay, boomer," which is a really popular one that just came up.
Although some would say the use of memes and TikTok are a coping mechanism, others will even call it youth activism. Associate Professor Derek Burrell says the internet is an astonishingly effective tool that allows any young person a voice and a place to be heard.
There's always the stress of being a teenager, being at the cusp of adulthood, but not having the power that's afforded to adults. Teenagers or young people in general, even into their 20s, are so active on social media, stating their opinions, creating memes, responding to current events, things that bother them. That to me is an act of bravery.
I think when people post stuff about issues like that, it's to kind of express how they feel about it. So maybe they have like a humorous personality, but they also care about the issue. So when you post like a meme or something like that, it's using both your humor and then also what you care about.
I feel with like TikTok, it's kind of like diminishing the overall seriousness of the topic. For adults compared to us, they kind of have a little bit more control and a little bit more authority over these types of problems. They're a little bit more educated or I guess more informed on these topics. So I feel like it is something that the younger generation should be on top of and that we should worry about, just trying to get more informed and more active on these serious world issues.
Banding together as an entire youth group against something like climate change, that has the righteous anger, which I completely understand and believe in and still feel like I have it. I can't wait to see what kinds of, and this has already happened obviously, but what kinds of activism can come out of it. People want to say something about their community or do something in their community and share that, or stage a virtual protest, but they're just, it's dizzying. I'm excited, I'm scared.
This is Hannah Kiyan reporting from Etowanda High School and PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs.
There we go. All right, let's take the last 20 minutes to do whatever you'd like. So those are just some kids' perspectives. You know, one of the problems with humor is you can be laughing on the outside, but crying on the inside. Here's the one I wanted. Just going to play this one for fun.
Alyssa is a non-binary freshman at Lebanon Valley College who struggles with mental health.
Anxiety and depression run in my family, specifically in the women's. So I was unfortunate enough to be born with it. I can remember having panic attacks as young as like kindergarten. At night, I would get really scared, think that I was going to be hurt, think that somebody was going to hurt me. And I would go downstairs because my dad was always awake, and I would always go and watch him play video games until like 1 a.m. because that's when I could get to sleep.
To some, this type of experience may be foreign, but a 2018 Blue Cross Blue Shield study found that diagnosis of major depression has risen dramatically by 47% among adolescents since 2013.
The increase is 65% for girls. The demand is overwhelming university counseling services. And that's exactly why Dr. Stevie Falk, head counselor at Lebanon Valley College, created the 50/50 Peer Program, a program that formally trains students at Lebanon Valley to act as peer helpers for those who are struggling with their mental health.
The way I talk about the 50/50 is that they are definitely an arm of counseling services. You know, it's so we have the 50/50. We also have the clinicians, myself included. We also have a consulting psychiatrist that comes in. So we have certain levels of services, and that the student should get to decide for themselves what they feel most comfortable with.
Ben Hoffman, a junior majoring in psychology, is one of Dr. Falk's trained peer helpers who works with students who have less severe issues and are uncomfortable with professional counseling services.
This program really makes me feel like I'm doing something good on this campus. It's really rewarding to know that I've been trained in how to talk with people and how to help them.
Hoffman also runs a weekend support group for students to get help when the counseling office is closed.
Oasis is a weekend group that myself and two of the other 50/50s run on the weekends. And it's an acronym for Overcoming Adverse Situations in Schools.
Ross makes us feel good.
I like that group because it allows people who might not have the time to see me in the office to come see me on the weekends where, everybody's free, it's the weekend. And then they can pick my brain for questions they might be having about problems they may have.
So far, the peer helpers have provided a valuable chance for students who don't like the idea of counselors to still get help. Alyssa feels that the 50/50 Peer Program has made it easier to get help with mental health.
I saw a therapist when I was in high school, and I didn't see her for very long. And I came here and I thought I could do without one. And then on the first day of classes, I decided I don't think I can do this, so I went to get help. It was really nice because I kind of had to fight to get therapy before. I had to have fights with my parents, and to get free therapy from the school, I had to fight with them. But now I was finally getting the help I needed, and people were willing to work with me, and it felt really good.
Okay. I love that story. That was one of my students that did that. Think about her story. She inherited genetic traits that made her nervous, that made her scared, that gave her panic attacks. It's not that she's a bad person. It's not that she had a terrible experience. It's just who she is. It's her genetics. We can't hide from our genetics. So if you're feeling hurt, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling depressed, it's not a black mark against you. You're a human being. We all feel bad. We all feel hurt. We all feel depressed sometimes. Know that there are people out there who are really interested in helping you. Did you hear that student who helps them? He doesn't look like a person that I would necessarily talk to on my own, but he cares. He comes in on his weekend to listen to students, to listen to their problems, and see if he can help them. It's kind of like my job. I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to help you. But I want you all to get that message, that mental health is real. We all go through these things to one degree or another. And there are people that are very interested in helping you. There are people that want to take their time to raise you up, to make you feel better, to make sure that you're okay. That's special. That's, again, it's hopefully one of the things that makes us Americans. We take care of each other. I look out for my neighbor. Seven minutes to go. just to give us something to do for the end of our period, I'm going to let you watch. This is Etowanda. This is their story that made it onto PBS NewsHour. This was my first story to make it onto PBS NewsHour. I was very excited.
Off California's coast lies one of the 58 captivating national parks. Welcome to the Channel Islands, home of beautiful nature, unique creatures, and tons of unsolved mysteries. But the real secrets of the islands have been buried under the surface for thousands of years. Laura Kern is the Chief of Cultural Resources for the Channel Islands National Park.
Channel Islands National Park is world famous for its archaeology. Channel Islands really represent a part of California that doesn't exist on the mainland anymore. And because we don't have burrowing animals here, the archaeological record, the evidence in the ground is intact, and that is unheard of.
The preservation of the island's archaeology has made it possible for new artifacts to be discovered, such as a mammoth skull excavated in fall 2016 on Santa Rosa Island. Don Morris is a retired archaeologist for the National Park Service who aided in the excavation of this discovery.
I think I can confidently say this is the best skull, pygmy mammoth skull that's ever come off the island. Certainly it's the best one I've ever seen. And the most unusual feature about it is that the cranial area, the back of the skull, is completely intact. That is an extremely fragile area of the anatomy, and it's usually crushed and broken and missing in your typical skull. And this one is intact. There are actually hollow areas inside that skull, and we're really kind of in new ground as we work on this specimen.
Back at the Santa Barbara Natural History Museum, Monica Bugbee, a preparator and archaeologist for the Mammoth site in South Dakota, has begun the painstaking process of removing the skull from its plastic cast, a tedious process that will take months to complete.
This is kind of an exciting discovery because pygmy mammoths, even though they're really cool, everybody likes them because they're small, they're neat, we actually don't know a whole lot about them because there's been research done on them for a long time, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions. So this skull in particular, because it looks like it might be in the middle of the two species, Columbian and pygmy, it can give us a much better idea of how that process actually worked. How did they actually dwarf from Columbians to pygmies?
Scientists use radiocarbon dating to discover how long ago this mammoth was alive. This kind of dating is done by measuring the amount of carbon-14 in a sample and using its half-life to calculate how old the sample is.
We were able to date some of the dirt around it. There's some charcoal that we found in the dirt, and we radiocarbon dated that, and it's about 15,000 years old, I believe. So this guy's actually pretty young when you're, considering it's a mammoth.
Justin Wilkins, a curator at the Mammoth site, has been working with Bugbee to clean and prepare the skull for display.
So in looking at the past, we can then access how our species or other species handled changes in the environment. So we look at the mammoths, we look at humans, we also look at a bunch of small animals to see how those animals handle these changes. We just keep applying new technology. We can learn more and more about these vestiges of the past and pull out all that information, okay? And then try to decide, predict based on the information, the patterns we see from these specimens, what patterns we're seeing in the present, how that's going to change in the future.
But while technology plays an important part in preserving and researching bones like the mammoth skull, much of archaeology still depends on careful observation and human work.
You've got to move dirt. You've got to keep your eyes open and pay attention to what you're observing. We've been doing that for centuries, and that's still the best way to find stuff.
So in the case of this animal, technology didn't play that big of a part. This guy was found by a Park Service intern who was doing a stream survey. So they were just, doing routine, walk down a canyon, and they happened to notice it.
The intern who discovered the skull, Peter Laramendi, was a recent college graduate who recognized the tusk sticking out of the wall could be something much more than just a rock.
He was part of the excavation. He even talked about how thrilling it was for him, that it was something that you dream about as a little child, discovering something like a dinosaur or something really exciting. And he was excavating the tooth of a mammoth that we have yet to understand where it is in the evolutionary scheme. So it's incredibly exciting to think that these things are still out here. They're still very fragile, and we want to protect them and study them in the right ways. But it doesn't mean that people can't still discover exciting new things that happen to be thousands of years old on Santa Rosa Island.
That is it, and we are done. Have a wonderful weekend, team.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, run away.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
I will try my hardest. Trust me. Thank you, team. Any questions? Shepsu, can I help you? Brian, James?
They told me I had to use the word.
Whoop, how did I start that? Brian, Shepsu, James? Bye.